Stop scrolling. You think part 1 covered all the underrated sci-fi Netflix is hiding? You haven't seen anything yet. Welcome back to ReelRanks. Today we're cracking open 12 more hidden sci-fi gems buried so deep in the Netflix library, the algorithm will never show them to you. And before you say, I've already seen everything, I guarantee at least half this list is stuff you've scrolled past 100 times without clicking. Stick around for our number 1 spot, a Korean sci-fi masterpiece from the director of Train to Busan. Netflix spent millions on it and then buried it like a secret they were ashamed of. That is a crime. Kicking things off at number 12, Project Power.
It can make you strong, make you invisible. You never know what your power is until you try it.
It's time to rise, it's time to rise.
Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a mysterious pill that gives you 5 minutes of unpredictable superpower. You don't choose your ability, the pill chooses for you. Some people get bulletproof skin, some get invisibility. One guy literally explodes. Think Limitless meets X-Men set in the gritty streets of New Orleans. The action sequences are genuinely insane. Fox fighting a man who's on fire. Gordon-Levitt using his powers to stop a bank robbery in slow motion. It's pure adrenaline with a surprisingly sharp critique of Big Pharma underneath. Why was it buried? Netflix dropped this mid-pandemic with zero theatrical push. Their 2020 slate was so overcrowded that solid mid-budget genre films got swallowed whole. Without the word of mouth from a theater run, Project Power never stood a chance. Coming in at number 11, Code 8.
You just put your hands up. We won't hurt you.
4% of the population is born with superhuman abilities. Society's response? Register them, track them, make it illegal for them to get decent jobs. Stephen and Robbie Amell star in this grounded, gritty world where the powered class is forced into low-wage manual labor or straight-up crime just to survive. The police deploy drones and robotic suppression units specifically designed to hunt them. It's less superhero fantasy and more working-class dystopia. What makes this stand out is how real the world building feels. Power registration checkpoints, automated suppression units hovering over poor neighborhoods, a society that treats difference as a threat. The chemistry between the Amell cousins is electric. But what if the thing that changed your life wasn't a superpower at all? What if it was a broken piece of technology that never should have survived the accident? That's exactly what brings us to iBoy at number 10. Bill Milner wakes up from a coma to discover shards of his shattered smartphone are embedded in his brain, and now he can hear every phone call within a mile radius, see through any camera, and manipulate any connected device with his thoughts. I know how ridiculous that sounds, but iBoy doesn't play this as a superhero origin. Instead, it's a gritty British revenge thriller where he isn't saving the world from aliens, but rather hunting down the gang that assaulted his best friend using his tech powers as a weapon. The scenes where he weaponizes the digital world by turning smart homes into traps and using city CCTV like a personal surveillance network are genuinely creative. It was buried purely because of the name, as iBoy sounds like a terrible Apple commercial from 2011, and Netflix's algorithm never figured out how to sell it. At number 9, Jonathan. We follow identical twins sharing a single existence where Jonathan lives during the day and John lives at night. They communicate through video messages recorded at shift change without ever meeting or touching, sharing one life between them with military precision. Ansel Elgort delivers a genuinely impressive dual performance here, and you can tell which brother is speaking purely from his posture. Jonathan is rigid, disciplined, and emotionally locked down, while John is looser and more impulsive, eventually wanting things Jonathan won't allow. When John starts keeping secrets, the entire arrangement unravels. This is quiet and introspective sci-fi without any explosions or CGI monsters, focusing purely on the slow-motion collapse of the strangest family dynamic ever filmed. Critics called it too slow, and drama fans never found it because Netflix miscategorized it as a thriller, leaving it to fall into the genre gap where good films often go to die. At number 8, Brick.
What if the wall is a code? The code for what?
Get down!
Imagine waking up one morning to find your entire apartment building surrounded by an impenetrable and seamless black wall with no doors, no windows that open, no explanation, and no sound from the outside. That is the setup, and what starts as a Twilight Zone mystery slowly curdles into something far darker. The residents aren't trapped by accident, and the wall isn't the only thing they should be afraid of, because something else is inside with them. And the wall might actually be protecting the outside world from whatever that thing is. The film has a creeping and claustrophobic dread that reminds me of early David Fincher, utilizing long silences and strange angles to create the sense that the building itself is watching. It was released in January 2025 with absolutely zero marketing, as Netflix dumped it during awards season so nobody even knew it existed. Taking the number 7 spot, Anon.
Placing a moving image in real time. Who can hack a human being?
Clive Owen and Amanda Seyfried star in a future where every citizen has a neural implant that records everything they see, capturing every glance, mistake, and private moment. The entire population is a walking surveillance network where nobody even remembers what privacy felt like until a killer appears who is completely invisible. She has no digital footprint and no recorded memories, moving through a world of total surveillance like a ghost. Owen plays a detective who can access anyone's visual feed to solve crimes except for hers. Andrew Niccol, the director behind Gattaca, builds a cold, elegant, and terrifyingly plausible future where the hacking sequences feel like art installations. Because it was released the exact same month as Annihilation and Mute, Anon got squeezed out of every playlist and never really had a chance. At number 6, the Cloverfield Paradox. An international crew aboard a massive space station attempts a particle accelerator experiment to solve Earth's energy crisis. But when the beam fires, the Earth completely disappears. What follows is dimension-shifting chaos, where crew members merge with alternate versions of themselves. A wall eats a man alive, and a severed arm keeps writing a message its owner never finished. Reality glitches like corrupted code with no undo button, and the international cast is stacked with stars like Gugu Mbatha Raw, Daniel Bruhl, and Zhang Ziyi, navigating genuinely nightmarish set pieces. While this is the most divisive Cloverfield film, it absolutely delivers as a standalone sci-fi horror ride. Netflix surprise dropped it after the Super Bowl with a gimmick to watch it right away, but with no build-up or campaign, the buzz died within 48 hours. At number 5, See You Yesterday. Two brilliant black teenagers from Brooklyn build a working time machine in their garage, not for a science fair or fame, but to go back and save one of their brothers from being shot by the police. Spike Lee produced this, and it hits completely differently from any time travel movie you have ever seen, because the sci-fi isn't really the point. The real story is about what happens when you try to undo a tragedy, only to discover that some things are stitched so deeply into the fabric of reality that changing them breaks everything else. Eden Duncan Smith and Dante Critchlow are electric together, coming off as funny, real, completely believable as best friends who are way over their heads. The humor in the first act makes what comes later absolutely devastating, and despite a 93% score on Rotten Tomatoes, Netflix quietly buried it in the algorithm. And honestly, that's a total crime. Coming in at number 4, Freaks.
What are you doing? Someone could have seen you. Open the door. You almost got us killed.
A 7-year-old girl has lived her entire life inside a boarded-up house with her paranoid father, who tells her that the outside world is destroyed, normal people are gone, and she will die if she ever steps outside. She believes him entirely until an ice cream truck shows up, and Mr. Snowcone, played with unnerving charm by Bruce Dern, starts leaving her clues that her father is lying about everything. What follows is one of the most unpredictable genre shifts in modern sci-fi, boasting an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and featuring Emile Hirsch delivering career-best work as the father. You can think of it as room meeting something much stranger, mixed with a dash of psychological horror. The title might sound like a straight-to-DVD slasher from 2005, but it is actually a masterclass in controlled storytelling. Entering the top 3 at number 3, The Discovery. Robert Redford, Rooney Mara, and Jason Segel in his first dramatic lead star in a story where a scientist proves irrefutably with hard data that an afterlife exists, broadcasting this scientific proof to every screen on Earth. As a result, millions of people immediately kill themselves just to get there. This is easily the darkest premise on this entire list, leading into a haunting and quiet exploration of what happens when humanity's biggest question gets the worst possible answer. Siegel plays the scientist's estranged son, who returns home years after the discovery destroyed his family, only to uncover something about the afterlife that is even more disturbing than its existence. The film asks what would happen if death isn't an escape, but rather a loop you are trapped in forever. Netflix buried this during awards season, treating a film with Redford at his most haunting and Siegel at his most vulnerable like complete filler. Runner-up on this list at number 2, Colossal.
Out of control than ever.
Anne Hathaway plays an unemployed alcoholic who discovers that when she walks through a specific playground at a specific time in her small hometown, a giant monster appears on the other side of the world in Seoul and mirrors her every movement. It copies every stumble, every nervous tick, and every drunk collapse, meaning the entire city of Seoul is being terrorized by a kaiju-sized creature that she is controlling without even knowing how. You can think of it as Godzilla meeting Fleabag, as the film uses this absurd premise to tell one of the sharpest stories about toxic relationships, addiction, and personal accountability ever wrapped in a creature feature. Jason Sudeikis plays completely against type, and his arc becomes genuinely terrifying. It was too weird to market since it blends comedy, sci-fi, drama, and a monster movie all at once, so the Netflix algorithm had no box for it. If you watch only one film from this list other than our number 1, you should definitely make it this one. Controlling a giant monster is a wild concept, but our number 1 pick asks something even more unsettling. What happens when technology refuses to let someone die? That's where Jung-E earns the number 1 spot. Yun Song-ho, the director of Train to Busan, created a sci-fi epic set in a devastated 22nd century where humanity survives in orbital shelters after Earth became uninhabitable. To win an endless civil war, scientists developed the ultimate AI warrior by cloning the brain of their greatest soldier, Captain Yoon Jung-yi, a legendary combatant who died decades ago. The catch is that they keep running the simulation again and again, making her relive her death, fight, and suffer because the corporation funding the project doesn't want a soldier, they just want a product. At the center of it all is her daughter, who is now an adult researcher on the very project that is torturing a digital copy of her dead mother, forced to watch day after day as she dies in an endless loop she cannot stop. Kang Soo-yeon delivers a performance of raw, devastating humanity trapped inside a robotic shell, reaching Blade Runner levels of emotional devastation. Netflix spent $20 million on this, released it in January 2023 with almost no promotion, and let it vanish within 2 weeks, which is an absolute crime. If you watch only one film from this list, it has to be Jung-E. That wraps up 12 more underrated sci-fi movies that Netflix is hiding from you. Drop your pick in the comments to let me know which one you are watching tonight, and if you think I got the rankings wrong, come fight me down there because I read every single one. If you missed part 1, it is linked right here on your screen. Be sure to subscribe for more hidden gems every week, and I will see you in the next one.